spent months wondering about my strange neighbor across the hall, and when I finally found out what he was hiding, I was shocked. So I moved into a new apartment a few months ago. It's a nice place, quiet neighborhood, and the neighbors all seem friendly enough. However, there's this one guy who lives across the hall from me who I can't quite figure out. He's a middle-aged man, always well-dressed and very polite. But there's something a bit off about him. For one, he never seems to leave his apartment. I work from home, so I'm around a lot, and I never see him come or go. The lights in his apartment are always on, no matter the time of day. And sometimes I hear strange noises coming from his place. Mechanical whirring, soft beeping, and occasionally what sounds like muffled voices. One evening, curiosity got the better of me. I decided to see if I could figure out what was going on. I ordered a pizza and timed it so I could accidentally bump into him when I went to get it. Sure enough, as I was heading back to my apartment with the pizza, he was at his door. I greeted him and struck up a conversation. He was friendly but evasive. I asked him about his work, and he said he was in research. When I pressed for details, he changed the subject. He invited me in for a cup of coffee, and although I was a bit hesitant, I accepted. His apartment was immaculate. Everything was perfectly in place, almost too perfect. I noticed he had a lot of high-tech equipment, computers, monitors, and gadgets I couldn't even begin to identify. He made us coffee and we chatted for a while, but I couldn't shake the feeling that he was hiding something. As I was leaving, I caught a glimpse of a door at the back of his apartment. It had a keypad lock, and it seemed to be the source of the strange noises. I asked him about it, and he just smiled and said, "That's where the magic happens." A few weeks later, the power in our building went out. It was late at night, and everything was pitch black. I stepped out into the hallway with a flashlight, trying to figure out what was going on. To my surprise, I saw a faint glow coming from under my neighbor's door. Despite the power outage, his apartment was still lit. My curiosity got the best of me, and I knocked on his door. He opened it almost immediately, as if he had been expecting me. "Come in," he said, his voice calm and steady. Inside, his apartment looked the same, but the glow was coming from the back room with the keypad lock. This time, the door was slightly ajar. He led me to the door, and I could see a soft blue light emanating from inside. "What's going on?" I asked, my heart pounding. "I think it's time you knew the truth," he said, pushing the door open. Inside was a small, home-built laboratory. He had various pieces of equipment and gadgets laid out, and in the center was a large, old-fashioned radio transmitter. "I'm a ham radio enthusiast," he explained. "I use this equipment to communicate with people all over the world. The lights and noises you hear are from my late-night conversations and experiments." Relieved and intrigued, I listened as he explained his hobby in more detail. He was part of a network of amateur radio operators who shared a passion for long-distance communication and technological experimentation. He showed me some of his projects, including building antennas and modifying equipment to improve signal range. Over the next few months, we became friends. He even let me join in on some of his radio sessions, and I found myself getting caught up in the excitement of it all. What I had initially thought was a suspicious and secretive neighbor turned out to be someone with a unique and fascinating hobby. Sometimes the mysteries we create in our minds are more elaborate than reality. My neighbor's strange behavior had a perfectly logical explanation, and it led me to discover a new interest and a new friend.